Hello and welcome to this edition of the Podium, which is coming to you live from the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation with me, Asmiba. We start with a quote of the day which comes from a British politician. It says, one thing is unavoidable. If we are going to continue to have support for migration, we need to be able to control the numbers. Coming up in today's edition of the program, security threat as clusters, gang groups clash, leaving one person dead. Government releases a list of teachers who have served 10 consecutive years of teaching who will be benefiting from the government scholarship as their children will get university scholarship. The Afrobarometer report 2019 on migration shows that Sierra Leone is among countries with the highest number of people wanting to leave the country. An Interreligious Council of Sierra Leone embarks on a nationwide dialogue on national peace, cohesion and political tolerance. All these and more, including your messages, which you can send to 083733504. 083733504 is the number you can send your messages to. You can also watch us on our Facebook page, SLBC TV, channel 31. Send us your comments as we shall read them live on the program. It's Podium. The number you can send your message to 083733504. The government of Sierra Leone has released the list of teachers who have served 10 consecutive years in the teaching field. For the teachers who meet the criteria will have scholarships for their children to pursue university education. Well, the scheme was disclosed by President Bio during the state opening of Parliament. Well, how was the process carried out? We have in the studio Abubakar Josise, who is the head of media and strategic communications in the Ministry of Information and Communications. Welcome to the program, Abubakar Josise.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
How many teachers are going to benefit from this scheme?
Well, as many teachers as possible who meet the criteria set by the scheme. So far, the first list is out. List of 34 names, 34 beneficiaries. These are children of teachers. Because this fulfillment of pre-election promise made by His Excellency the President as a way of giving incentive to teachers to motivate them. That's a way of addressing the quality aspect of the free education, because we want to get the teachers motivated to teach the kids in school. You know? So the process has started, and that's the thrust of the question. Actually, it all starts with application to the Ministry of Higher Technical Education, and that teachers who have taught for 10 uninterrupted years, because that's the threshold you have to meet. So from there, they send in applications to the Ministry of Higher Technical Education. The ministry processes the application, but there are two key things the ministry looks out for. One, their PIN code, and then secondly, the birth certificates of their children. So once they get this, they send it to the Teaching Service Commission.
So is it only teachers who have PIN codes that will benefit?
First of all, you of course you present your PIN code. That's one way of establishing whether actually you're a teacher.
But there are teachers who have been in the classroom for maybe 10 years, maybe more than 10 years, who have not had any PIN code. Are they not? Those are not recognized as legitimate teachers.
Yeah, but you have to be in the system. That is the only way we know that you're a teacher. You have to be in the system, and to be in the system, you have to have a PIN code, right? So that's why the ministry is requesting for the PIN code and then the birth certificates of their children to ascertain whether they're actually their biological children. Then from there, that information is sent to the Teaching Service Commission, which has responsibility for management of the teachers, and once they verify and they send the report back to the Ministry of Higher Education, then the ministry will now officially inform the various tertiary institutions that so and so people are benefited from the scholarship scheme. So that's how it works.
Now, what's going to be the bargaining agreement between the government of Sierra Leone and the teachers? If, for example, a teacher benefits from the scheme and maybe 1 or 2 years down the line when his or her child is still at university and he or she decides to leave the classroom, is he going to forfeit the scholarship?
Well, as long as at the time of applying for the scholarship on behalf of their children, they meet the threshold, I think that is what is important because one, they are going to be compensated for the service to the nation, and then two, it is to encourage them to be career teachers because you cannot go in and out of a system. But once you are there, that means you are focused and you are committed to imparting knowledge into the kids.
But yeah, and I know that the classroom is not lucrative and many teachers look for better opportunities. They go where they think the grass is greener.
Exactly. So that's why this incentive comes.
But maybe for someone who has taught for 10 years, and an opportunity that is given to him or her, maybe the person, okay, I think I have had my reward. It's high time I left the classroom now.
Well, I don't think, because these are career teachers. I believe that's not the only reward they are looking out for. For the mere fact that they've stayed in the system for 10 good years, it tells you that they're actually interested in staying. You know, and that's one way you compensate them. It's also a form of incentive to motivate them to continue teaching.
Okay, here is Abubakar Joe Sisse from the Strategic Communications Unit of the Ministry of Information and Communication. The program is Podium, coming to you from Twitter. Interreligious Council of Sierra Leone has embarked on a nationwide dialogue on national peace, cohesion and political tolerance to educate citizens on the need to be together after elections. Well, Sierra Leone has been divided on political lines, and the move by the Interreligious Council is to encourage Sierra Leoneans to be politically tolerant. Well, for more on the community engagement, I have in the studios Reverend Dr. Osman Jasifona, President, Interreligious Council of Sierra Leone. So, Secretary General of the Interreligious Council of Sierra Leone. Welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you very much, Asmi. Nice having you.
Okay. Many times, people say the religious leaders themselves know the problems of Sierra Leone, and sometimes they are part of the problem.
That would be a very unfortunate statement and a very unassuming words by anybody who could say that. Religious leaders are not problem causers. They are solutions to problems. They know their calling, they know their responsibilities, they promote peace and nothing else. They have love for all and hatred for none.
So where have they been all these years when, well, let's say for the past 1 year now or so, pre-elections, during elections and even post-elections, you've seen the tension in the country. What has been the role of the religious leaders? Have you played your role well?
Oh, definitely. I'm happy you had to reorganize a question about where have we been. I think you will agree with me that religious leaders have always been around. I've always been around. Sheikh Abakante has always been around, and all the other religious leaders in the country have always been around. And we have never negated our responsibilities. We have a moral responsibility given to us by the Lome Peace Accord. But apart from that, we have our spiritual responsibility given to us by the God who called us, who has made us the principles and leaders of reconciliation. That's part of our mandate, given to us by God. And that is why we accepted the call into ministry. That is why we have accepted the call to come into what we are doing. So whatever that has to do with the promotion of peace and the reconciliation of people in Sierra Leone has always been our responsibilities, and we have never failed in carrying out those responsibilities.
Do you think our nation is divided along political, religious or tribal lines?
That is not a hidden secret. Even you asking the question, you know that very well.
No, I'm asking
it is always clearly demonstrated in a number of ways. During elections, you see the way election results come out. People think we have strongholds in a particular area. We also discover that during and after elections, people still use the issue of regionalism and tribalism as we have divided the country. We see that also demonstrated by the actions of many Sierra Leoneans in the country. So it's not a hidden secret. Yes, to answer your question, Sierra Leone is divided on regional and political lines.
And the area you visited, what were you told? What did the people say?
We visited a number of areas in the country. The entire country, I could say. We're in the south, the east, the north, and in the western area. And one of 3 issues of cohesion we have been promoting to our people: social cohesion, economic cohesion, and political cohesion. And they have made it very clear to us that in the area of social cohesion, they think Sierra Leone has done very well, in the sense that people in our communities are living together. They share the same places of worship. We have intermarriages going on among us in the country. So we are trying out those areas. In the area of economic cohesion, past government and current government, they are doing their utmost best to ensure that there's an equal distribution of wealth and social services across the country. The challenges that we have, according to the people, is a political cohesion. Wherein political leaders do not want to see themselves as one people. They come out to the public and present to us as if they are enemies. the way they talk on television, the way they talk on radio, the way they carry out their, or conducting themselves in their political activities. But then when they leave the public scene, behind the scene, they become very close and personal friends. They joke, they interact, they help themselves, but then they leave the masses to be in a suffering situation. This is the issue, and that is why we have targeted. As much as we have reached the people in the communities, we have educated our religious leaders, they are carrying on the promotion of social cohesion and peace building. We said we cannot live inside that. That's why we have gone beyond that point. We engage the political parties themselves in those particular areas. Now that we have completed the political parties, though 1 or 2 parties were not there, now we're going to target the parliamentarians. But they are also key. They represent the people, they go to the communities, they take the message down to the people, they are the lawmakers of this country, and we need them to understand what is expected of them. And when we finish the parliamentarians, we are going to target the councillors in every council in this country, because they are closer to the people. They should champion development in the community level, and we must be able to reach them with a message of social, economic, and political.
I mean, as religious leaders, do you normally tell truth to power?
Do we?
Do you normally tell truth to power?
Oh, that is the reason why we exist. The day I, Reverend Dr. Usman Fona,
I'm not referring to you as an individual. I
want to use myself as an
especially
example.
the interreligious council.
Oh, definitely. Nobody, we are not responsible. Nobody is responsible for our living. Nobody is feeding us. Nobody is paying us anything. That's why we don't even take subscription from government, because we don't want any particular government to think they are in my pocket. I control them. They have the money. I give them what they need to buy and what they need to eat. We are very independent in what we're doing. Our business is protecting and promoting issues of national importance. So whoever is in governance, whoever you may be, whatever thing you do that is not right for the good of this country, we'll never be afraid to tell you. The day we stop telling you what is wrong, we'll not only be failing you, but we have a responsibility to stand before God Almighty.
Yes, Doctor, but many people say the Interreligious Council has failed in that direction. Many a time, they seal their lips when things go wrong in the country. They only come out after the incident has happened. But the time that they are supposed to come out and speak, the time they are supposed to come out and challenge issues, they are not.
I'm not sure about what people are looking at. The Interreligious Council is not a political opposition party. The Interreligious Council...
But it's like a pressure group.
No, we're not a pressure group. We're not a pressure group in that sense. We are here to promote issues of national importance. Our business is to promote peace. We're not there to put pressure on government.
No, you don't put pressure on government.
But you say we're to
but if government acts, is it not a duty to call them?
Oh, definitely, we're doing that. The issue here is, we are religious leaders, we are civil society, but we are in civil society with a difference. We do not believe on coming on radio, on television, and blasting for people. That will not solve the problem. What will it pay you if somebody is suffering in Panama prisons, and you know you have the ability to go to President Julius Maada Bio and appeal to his conscience to have him released, and they will get him released, and coming on television blasting for him, and the man is still languishing in prison? What will it pay you? It is better you engage the powers that be behind the closed doors and share your message and try to convince them of what you think is right or wrong.
How often do you do that as a council?
As much as the need arises. We look at the people that are concerned, we discover there is a problem, we look at our problem people. Don't forget that these guys all belong to our churches and our mosques. They belong to the religious communities, and they are religious leaders that are responsible for their spiritual counsel and spiritual guide. And those religious leaders, I want to assure you, they do reach them with the message of the gospel. And they do reach them. They don't only pray for them and tell them what is right and what is wrong. If you have not invited me to Podium, I will not be here, because I don't want to blow my horn. I don't want to let people know what I'm doing. I'm not doing it for the icing of men. People may condemn us. People may say what they want to say. But as far as we are concerned, we know we are protecting the image of those people. We know we have a God-given responsibility, and nobody will take that one from us, and we are carrying it on.
Here is Reverend Dr. Usman Jesifana, the Secretary General of the Interreligious Council of Sierra Leone. It's Podium, coming to you from Filter. Well, hell was almost let loose during the weekend at Gloucester when youth suspected to be members of gangs from Moiba stormed the Gloucester community. Well, the nasty incident by the gang members left one person dead and many others injured with knives, stones and machetes. Well, the situation on the ground, this unfortunate incident has raised some security concern between the two communities. But to know more about the situation on the ground, we have in the studio the headman of Gloucester, Frederick Ansils. Welcome to the program, sir.
Good afternoon.
What really happened on that day?
Well, it was in the afternoon on Sunday, when some group of men went down to Moiba community just to go and stroll or to go and hang out, because we have that relationship with the two communities. When they went there, some group of boys met them, asked them for money, and they told them they don't have any money, and they were beaten up. And one of them had some cuts close to his eye, and this man, they went to Gloucester again and kind of reported the matter to people in that area, and they decided that they should gather themselves together and go to Moiba community to find out what went wrong. They went there and they were attacked. They were beaten mercilessly, stabbed with machetes and scissors. And
so who are the attackers?
A group of boys, we suspect to be clique members who attacked them.
Is it the first time?
Very serious.
Is it the first time that members of a community have been attacked by some people from Moiba?
Yes, but this time the difference is they attacked them in Moiba. Normally these guys come from Moiba to Gloucester and cause havoc, go to people's house at night and steal their goods, and sometimes people even in the afternoon will be going about their normal business, and these guys will go and attack them, take their phones and anything they possess.
You understand one person was killed?
No, I don't have that information, man.
So,
it was serious. It was very serious. If not for one or two people in the community who say some words threatening to pursue the guys who did the havoc, maybe one or two of them would have lost.
So did they make any arrests?
Well, they made some arrests. The police went there and made some arrests. But the information I'm having, some of them they arrested are not actually the perpetrators. So we are working closely with the police so that they can make another move to see how they can get.
So how has this affected life in Gloucester?
It has affected the two communities. Normally people go from Gloucester to Moiba. People take that route to Kisii. It's a short road to Kisii instead of going around Fabe College, going to traffic at Eastern. Just walk down to Moiba and go there about their normal business. People, businessmen and women, go from Moiba to Gloucester to do their business, sell bread and other foodstuffs.
So what's your relationship with the authorities in Moiba? I mean the headman and other local leaders?
They have not gotten a headman. I understand they have a chief. But since this incident happened, none of them were, as of now, we have got no contact, none of them came back and expressed some remorse, and none of them. So we're going to take the matter further and see what we can do to get on to the leadership in that community, because this is a very, very serious matter. My people are in fear now, and it's really, really serious.
Okay, he is Frederick Hansen, who is the headman of Gloucester Community, Gloucester Village. It's Podium coming to you from Freetown. Well, the academic and career advisory and counseling services and the Confucius Institute University of Sierra Leone will be hosting an international company and career expo at the Ajayi Crowd and Faith Theatre for Abbey College. Well, the one-day career expo is to exhibit job facilities for graduates. To talk more on the international company and career expo, I have in the studio the director of the Confucius Institute University of Sierra Leone, and also Dr. Fatmata Taki, Director of Academic and Career Advisory and Counseling Services. Let me start with you, Dr. Taki. How important is such a program for new graduates?
Thank you, Asmiro. It's a very important aspect that the university has taken, looking into linking graduates and the students with potential employers. And it's very key because it's not just about what they learn during the academic tenure, but it's also how they can apply what they've learned, and within various institutions or organizations, what they have learned. And also very key is that how they can share skills on how to use, again, that knowledge to either create jobs for themselves and even employ other people, and but also how they comport themselves within a work environment. So this is why we have this platform. It's something that we do every year, and since last year we partnered with Confucius Institute, making it international, because then we have a lot of Chinese companies coming in. Last year we had over 30 Chinese companies mixed with our local and international organizations within.
So is it the same for 2019 also? Are we also going to see Chinese companies?
We're going to see Chinese companies, and we're going to see other companies. Last year we hosted over 80 institutions and organizations and companies and individuals. And this year we're looking at having more. Already we have about that number that have registered, and we still have people who are asking to be part of it. Did the employers see what they were looking for? Of course. Because many times people say there is this mismatch between the university and the job markets. This complaint is not unique to St. Leon. It sort of seems like a generic thing all over the world, where people complain that what they see in the graduates or what they're expecting is not what normally they get. But this is not, one is about fixing the problem where the students can easily interact and have one-to-ones with potential employers, and where they can have conversations and have a discussion as to what they're looking for, what the expectations are, and also how they need to tailor themselves to what's the job market, whatever industry is looking at. And we've called it, over the years, we've called it a career expo, because we're looking at your development. It's not just about having a job, but it's also how you develop yourself to become a career person, so that you develop within an industry. So it's an open event. It's not just for graduates. Normally when we organize things like this, we call on our sister institutions, and it's open to the public. So anyone who's looking at change, who might be thinking of having a change within their job, or who might be looking at opportunities within another industry, they're welcome. People who have graduated before, and even people who are current students, because we find out that we have a lot of students, and we encourage that too, who could do part-time work whilst they're studying, so that they can fund their studies, because we have a lot who are
Is it not something that the university should do even before students are enrolled into it? I remember when we went to college, we are very green on campus. We didn't know about the modules, the subjects. We went around choosing all sorts of subjects. I mean, had we known, there were certain subjects, certain modules that we wouldn't have chosen, but we chose them because we are not counseled, we are not guided. And some people say that's the beginning of the problem.
Well, that might be true, and this was why some 4 or 5 years ago, it was initiated to have the Academic and Careers Advisory, of which I am director. So over these 4 or 5 years, there's been the need. And even within that time, not just the counseling and supporting the students in terms of the modules, how they choose the modules, how they come in, how even you get yourself settled within university coming from school is a whole different scenario. So, and very different environment. So that's why we've been there, to give faculty support, to help with how they can do research, and this is why that thing was set up. Before, even when I was a student, we didn't have that facility. But some 5 years ago, this was initiated at the university. And so it's been an ongoing thing, not just the academic and career advisory bit, but the welfare bit, but also the career bit, to see how they develop themselves post-university.
Well, let me bring in the director of the Confucius Institute, Dr. I don't know how to pronounce your name properly, pardon me, Professor? Professor Ming-Kui? Chin. Ming-Chin, okay. Thank you very much. What has been your impression so far, the last year's expo?
Last year, we had a very successful company expo. More than 60 companies attended this expo, and more than 3,500 positions offered in that job fair.
So how many of them did you employ? Or how many did employers give jobs?
Altogether is 67.
67.
67 companies.
That's a very small number.
But some companies employ plenty. Yeah, plenty. They offer plenty positions for the employees.
Apart from also looking at who to be employed on that particularly, what about spotting those with talent? Maybe you cannot employ them, but you can do further trainings for them as well.
Yes. Yeah. Some company they take the employees as the potential employee. Yeah. Maybe this time they cannot be employed there, but later, if they will find the opportunity to give them the chance.
So what are you looking forward to seeing this year?
This year we hope we can have a better than last year. We hope to provide a platform for the graduates, students, and the general public opportunity to interact with the companies.
Well, thank you very much, Professor. Continue to be with us. Now let us go to our first issue, the one that had to do with the teachers whose children, those teachers who have spent 10 unbroken years in the classroom, their children are going to receive scholarships to pursue university education. Well, we've just had someone from the Sierra Leone Teachers Union for the Kuyat. Welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you very much.
Is it pleasing to the SLT membership, to members of the teaching profession, what government has done, that teachers who have spent 10 unbroken years are going to, their children are going to get scholarships?
Yeah, that was a proclamation made by His Excellency the President, retired Brigadier Julius Vanderbilt. And for us as a union, we welcome that idea, but we have some problems with the way these teachers were selected as a union.
What's the problem? And what's wrong with selection?
Fine. In the first place, as I said, we welcome the idea, but rather unfortunately, we are not involved in the process. For example, we are dealing with teachers, they are members, and if government has such a laudable ventures for teachers, I think it's about fitting that the authorities should involve the Sierra Leone Teachers Union. But to our surprise, we just heard over the wires that 30-something teachers have been awarded, children have been awarded this scholarship. We are saying we have received complaints from all over the country, from teachers, that the way the ministry has done it, they were not known, they were not informed.
So are you saying the list was fictitious?
I'm not saying that.
Is that the claim of the SLT?
No, we are not saying that. We are saying.
Is that what the SLT is insinuating?
No. We are saying we should be involved. And remember, when the president made that proclamation at Parliament, he did mention the Children's Teachers Union as partners in development. And that whatever step, whatever development the Ministry of Education is going to undertake, we are going to be involved. So we are getting complaints from all over the country, from our membership, that how was these people selected? They were not informed. If SLT had been informed, we should have been sent a circular right around the schools to tell teachers that have rendered their services unbroken 10-year services that this opportunity has now commenced and that these teachers should submit.
But one of the criteria, sir, is that a teacher must have a PIN code. That's one of the criteria.
Yeah, if you will not benefit if you don't have a PIN code. And we have a good number of these teachers in the field that have PIN code and that have served the profession for over 10 years.
But nobody has stopped them from coming forward or to apply for this scholarship.
Yeah, correct, but they did not know. They did not know. It is now that when these people have been awarded, about 30-something teachers have been awarded, they say, when did it start? That's the question they're asking. And perhaps they would have benefited at this first phase. But we are saying we should have been involved. We have no problem with this, with the selection. We are not saying it is fictitious. We are not saying there is a foul play. But we are saying we should be involved. And that's the whole problem we have with the whole process. And teachers are saying they don't know about the process. It is now that teachers are sending their application. They should have sent those applications long ago because they are killing at the university and they have served 10 years of broken services to this country as teachers.
Okay, let me bring in Abubakar Joe Sise. How many teachers are you expecting to benefit from this 20? I'm sure government has a budget, government has a cut-off point. Not all the teachers in Sierra Leone who have spent 10 years in a classroom are going to benefit. I stand to be correct, but I don't think government has that money. Does government have that money?
Well, we believe anyone who satisfies that criteria will definitely benefit. This is a very open and transparent process, and the ministry actually notified teachers. But that notwithstanding,
SLT is a key partner.
Yeah, but then it is between institutions. I just told you, I just explained the process before he came in.
No, but SLT
maybe for his benefit, I should go over it again. Understand how it all starts? And I was just coming to that to further inform that, as he rightly said, more applications have come into the ministry, over 100 of them. Teachers who are not informed, they now have the information and they've decided to take advantage of it. You understand? So the ministry is now processing over 100 applications.
Why can't the SLTU be brought on board? Why can't they be given the task also?
Well, I don't think that should be an issue because...
But they know their membership.
No, it's not about you knowing your membership. You understand? It's about you taking advantage of the offer. It is there for you as long as you meet the threshold of having taught for 10 good years on the top 10. You understand? You apply wherever you are, as long as you have a PIN code, as long as you have birth certificates for your children. That's all it. You send it to the Ministry of Higher and Technical Education, and then after processing it, they send it to the Teaching Service Commission. They are actually responsible for the management of teachers. From there, it comes back to the ministry, and the ministry informs the respective institutions. Understand? So that is how it works. Okay. So it really doesn't matter where SLT is there or not. I think if teachers are aware that the process is on, like of course as he has said now that most teachers are now aware and they are now saying Hija.
Okay, Mr. Kuyate, before we go for break, I think you want to say something?
Yeah, I want to say something. It is good for us to be involved because we want all the teachers to benefit. We know this country. I am not saying that there will be foul play. Our teachers, because we know.
Is that your concern that non-teachers will benefit from this scheme?
Exactly.
Are you worried that non-teachers will benefit from this scheme?
I worry that we don't want other people to infiltrate the system.
So that is why
if it is between ministry and TSC, I don't see any reason why we should not be involved because we are all partners in development. To make sure that the process is transparent and the process is free, fair, so that when we have these complaints coming to us, we'll say no, we are part of it, and there has not been any problem.
That is why applicants are required to produce their.
But no teacher has come forward with the birth certificate of his children and his PIN code.
I am saying we have not got any complaint as of now. I want to be
Are you foreseeing complaint?
Well, in any situation, there must be some problems. And that is why it is good for us. We are not saying we are going to be thoroughly involved in the process, but let us be there to make sure that whatever is being done, we are also part of it. I don't see anything wrong in that.
Okay, he is for the creator. The program is a Podium reaching you from Freetown. We are going for a short break. After the break, we are back. Podium, which is coming to you from Podium with me. Ask me about a few messages have come. This one says, these people are always complaining. The president's proclamation was clear. The Koyate guy were just sensitive to your fellow teachers. So it says, okay, I think you can't send one message twice. This one says, the incentive for teachers of more than 10 years is good. Will the scholarship continue for the next 4 years after retired? After the teacher retires, is coming from Ted. Another one says, well, very long message. Podium, I am truly pleased with the President Bio's commitment to the promises he made to teachers regarding their children. Mr. Sise, assuming your child's name does not correspond with yours, but the child is truly yours, how can such a situation be handled? It's coming from MB Kalon. Dr. Fona, this initial dialogue is coming at a time when there is APC neck fallout over elections result in Tonkolimba and pending verdict on protested MPs. With these two scenarios, how do you hope to produce the desired results coming from MB Kalon? I'll come straight away to you, Dr. Fona.
Thank you so very much. We have made it very clear. The president of this country is the president of the land. For the next 5 years, nobody is going to be president of Sierra Leone. You should know this. And because he is a president, we expect and require of him to provide the leadership in embracing all and sundry. Anything that has to give him difficulties in running his government, he should be able to address those issues.
And the two issues that, the two scenarios that this gentleman pointed out, the court case against certain numbers of members of parliament, and also the opposition parties, the APC and the NGC, for instance, saying they will boycott all elections until the next chairperson resigns. These are two sensitive and key issues in the country's politics for now.
I don't want to lay hands and comment on specific issues that they have decided. That could be a decision they have made. Our business is, whatever way they're doing it, let them ensure that it will not disturb the peace of the land. There is a way and there's a procedure to be followed when issues do not work out well for you, that are laid out by the Constitution of this country and other instruments. Let people take advantage of those. All we are concerned about, we want to maintain the peace of Sierra Leone. Whoever that thinks you have a role to play to ensure that that peace is maintained, please go ahead and do it. And whoever does not go by it and we discover that you are the cause of it, we are Sierra Leoneans, we know what to do. Our business is promote peace, preach peace, encourage the people to be very peaceful, and call on the political leaders to govern this country in the way they are supposed to govern us. If they do not do it, they are not only hurting the people of this country, but let them bear in mind, after 5 years, they'll be coming to request for the mandate of the people, and we will have to make a decision. And for the opposition, they should know that they are no longer in governance. There is a government and there is a structure that has been put in place. Let them abide by the rule of the game, and let them make sure that they do the things that is required of them to do for the good of this nation.
Are you planning to bring together the leaders of the two main political parties, the APC and the DSF? Because we said these two parties are the problems in Sierra Leone.
We have attempted in doing that times and without number. And we have bottlenecks in those areas. One will be willing and the one will not be willing. And so you cannot tell. At one point, one will come and say, no, because of this, I'm not going to do this. Because of this, I'm going to that. And that's why we are of the conclusion that whatever their actions are, whatever their positions are, let them put Sierra Leone first.
So have you resigned to fate? It seems
Well,
as if
no,
you
we have
resigned
not.
to fate.
We have not.
You've lost hope in them.
We have not. We cannot lose hope in them. We don't give up easily. And we don't quit. We are not quitters. That is why we have been back on this program. I've just told you where we have come from. And beyond this point, we are continuing to engage the powers that be. We are continuing to engage the stakeholders that are involved in these issues. There is no way we can talk about peace in Sierra Leone without engaging those people that are responsible for the peace in Sierra Leone. So we are continuing to do what we are supposed to do. We've heard about what is happening in Parliament. We are using our various structures. We are using our individual religious leaders who have control over some of these guys in their churches and in their mosques to engage them personally. And then when we meet at all level, we hear what is the result that's coming from them, and then we'll strategize on how we can move on.
Thank you, Reverend Dr. Usman Fana. Now, Headman, what is the situation now in Gloucester? Have the police come to your aid?
Yes, they have come to an aid, and we are still trying to get list of people in and outside the community that are engaged in these activities.
Are you not having people in your community who are supporting these guys from Moiba? Okay, for someone to come from Moiba to come and get that kind of
well, we cannot rule that out. We cannot rule that out. We surely cannot rule that out. It's possible.
Okay.
Yes. That's why we are trying to get down to the community itself, all those communities that we know are engaged in those activities, where we are getting information from them, and they are very helpful. People in the community are very helpful to us. They've been calling us, giving us information.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. Dr. Taki, how many students are you anticipating to receive this year? Are you getting for?
We're anticipating, last year we had about, I think, 2.5 people who came, and we're expecting more because this is an open event. So it's for graduates, it's for students, it's for people from sister institutions, it's for people who are looking for change, who want a job. So it's an open event, and it's free of charge. So people who come in, even SLBC, we expect to see, because as potential employers, we expect to see you there. It's a free event for both employers as well as the people who are going in. So it's a free open event, and people can take copies of their CVs with them and use the opportunity to have one-to-ones with employers. People will share tips and ideas with them, and we hope to see that you know, they go in there and they make use of the opportunity to be able to have various industries together, and they can easily relate with them and talk.
Does an expo like this normally affect the courses on Friday? Because every year maybe you say, well, we need to make some adjustments, we need to include A, B, C, and D.
Well, what it does is we do curriculum review, and so each department would go in, and this is why we always have stakeholders, people within the industries, who can have a say with what is being taught, because sometimes there is a mismatch, and you think the academics is different from what the practical aspect is, and this is why we always have annual curriculum review within departments, so that again we tailor the courses to the needs of the employers. But learning, sometimes you learn things. The very important thing that also people grasp from the fair and when we have seminars is the soft skills that you need, because sometimes you don't get these from academic work. You know, so how you present yourself, how you articulate, how you interview skills, how you write a CV, all these things, your team spirit, how you work with other people, your comportment, all these things put together, what are called soft skills. And these are ones we deal with as well. So for everyone there is competition, so you cannot guarantee that when you go in you will find a job. But what we always tell our students and our graduates is that you always have to have something that puts you above everybody else because of the competition. So if you go on what you portray and what you show is, you know, would put you slightly higher, so that you'll be looked at first and given the opportunity.
Thank you. Professor Min Ching, what advice would you give to the university?
I think because this job fair is just now Dr. Taki mentioned is open event, free of charge. So I think we are warmly welcome the students, the general public, and some other the employees can to visit this Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
To 3 p.m. Yes.
Yeah.
And internship opportunities as well.
Okay. Okay. Well, let's go to another issue. The 2019 AFCO Barometer report on migration is out using data from 34 African countries. Well, the report focuses on why people want to migrate from their countries. According to the report, Sierra Leone is among countries like Cape Verde and Malawi, which accounted for 57% of their citizens who are desperate and want to migrate to other countries. Well, SRBC's reporters was out, so we are out to get the views of some Sierra Leoneans on the Afro-Barometer reports.
When the people, I get posted say they can go back, I go fight. The country younger. I get people that what they take care for. Nothing all day. I know a driver say, but no work no day. And she don't know mama, she don't. Just me no more. No work no day. So now for that they bring this country, I'm out left there.
Me so waiting up now, so I want to leave this country. What to make I want to leave this country? It's operation. Now bike now the ride, but this bike I will have the ride so. Now up this hill no more. One mistake going at home where they hand me a big money and we not get the money, so then they hand where they only they say pay 100,000 being that it is slow from 7 o'clock in the morning till 8 o'clock in the night, you get 100,000. Where they hand you, they say 100,000. So all this, really me, if I get the opportunity for even go Nigeria, I go. Or for even go Kuwait, I go. Correcting up. Even if I go in there before, I want to go back and then I want. But before they are my own country, maybe so for proud of my own country. Then I don't want to make an issue there. Another man go before. Anything I go in fishing before now, I don't get problem with that.
Let me talk to our overseas. Because for what they are, for like makeup, you know, easy. But if you go on for makeup, you know, easy. And then they make this I want one. I want left salon. See this I want left salon.
Well, views of Sierra Leoneans on the 2019 Afro-Barometer report on migration, which says Sierra Leone and other countries around 57%, as many of their citizens are desperate to migrate to other countries. Now, Mr. Kuyate, the government of Sierra Leone has asked the teachers to come forward. I think what is now left with the SLTU is to ask your membership, your teachers to come forward. And if they are rejected, then you should raise the concern. But for now, no teacher has been rejected.
You see, I know no teacher has been rejected. I said we don't want the system to be infiltrated.
Is that a concern? Are you
concerned?
I mean, but
because the scholarship is meant for children of teachers.
Yeah, but I mean, how could the scholarship be awarded to someone who is not a teacher? You need to come with your
Remember, the names of these children will be sent to the universities and colleges. And the names of the parents will not be sent to the university and colleges. We want to ascertain.
But you only know your membership, not the children of your members.
That's what I'm saying. We are concerned, for example, if we are in the process, we know that such amounts of teachers have applied, and these amounts of teachers, children have been awarded. So we know the teachers who have been awarded, and we make sure that no other person's name is being.
How would you know their children?
Their children? As long as they have fulfilled the condition of 10 years.
Well, you cannot know the children of the teachers, can you?
No, we cannot know, but we will submit the names with their birth certificates. Not so.
Well, that's what the ministry has asked for.
And that is why we are saying we should be involved in the process to make sure that it is more transparent. We are not saying it is not transparent. But if more transparent when we are involved, because we are another party. You know, the Ministry of Higher Education and the TSC, these are government institutions. We are saying as a union, we should be involved to know that by telling us, okay, these are the teachers who have been awarded, which children have been awarded, and Mr. Joe is not the teacher's name, his children is not there. That's all we want to make sure. So that tomorrow when complaint comes, we know, oh no, my friend, these are teachers. We will not say we are not involved. Okay. So we are going with a high-power delegation to the Minister of Higher Education, to tell him that, don't you think SLT should be involved in the process? And if he says no, we will not be involved, then whatever happens along the line, we will not be responsible, we will be responsible.
Justice, isn't that convincing? Something that has to do with teachers, they themselves, the union that looks after the affairs of teachers have not been involved. That sounds very ironic.
Well, I think we should learn to have trust in our public institutions. You know, it's because of doubts Mr. Kuyate is entertaining, that is why he's suggesting that they get involved. But as he has said...
is that something too much to ask for?
I don't think so, but I think we should just trust our institutions, our public institutions. For now, the process has gone on well. It has been fair, transparent. Nobody has complained.
But how can you be a referee? How can you be a referee and player?
No, there are two institutions involved.
What I mean here is the government.
Why
can't you have SLT which does not belong to the government?
That means you want to question the integrity or credibility of the people who are involved in the process at the Teaching Service Commission. These are the people responsible for managing the affairs of teachers. You understand? That is why they are doing this thing in concert.
But Mr. Kuyate just now did say that they are worried that maybe the young people will be awarded scholarships.
No, it's not going to happen.
But yeah, I know this is Sierra Leone.
I know, but it's not going to happen. I mean, you know, this is a new direction, I would say. Yeah? We've had a radical departure from the past. All of these things is bringing up as a result of what has happened in the past. But I want to assure him that going forward, we are going to ensure that some of those things do not happen again. But as I said, they can go and have discussions on this with the Ministry of Higher and Technical Education. I think they will find a way out. Okay.
Gabriel, as we are rounding up now in just 5 seconds, do you think the council, the politicians, will lend their ears to you guys?
They have no alternative. We are the largest constituency in this country. They belong to our institution, even though they are politicians. And because they belong to our institution, they have respect for their religious leaders. They have to comply with what we're saying. And what we're asking for in Sierra Leone is not for the good of religious leaders. It is for the good of Sierra Leoneans, including themselves, their wives, their children, and their relatives. Okay, Dr. Taki, the criteria for one to be part of the expo?
Yeah, as long as you're a person, you're welcome to come in and be part of the Career Expo. Okay. And make use of the opportunity. And network, build on the network. So even if you don't have the opportunity now, they can have your data and contact you and, for any future, or you would have somebody's contact for any future deliberations or any future employment facilities.
Okay, well, we can end with this one text message. SLTU can even be involved and the worst happens. Mr. Kuyate.
Yeah.
Do you hear that message?
Well, it is better we are involved in what's happened, so we get the blame. We don't mind having the blame, but let us be involved.
Okay. Well, that's it. That's how we end today's edition of the Podium. All my guests, thanks to you for being part of it, and my producer, Salma Taba. So we join you again, well, not tomorrow night, on Thursday, but on Friday, by the grace of God. Have a blessed and lovely day.